Okay, so he's performing. No, I don't want. It's not. I don't want him out. I'm saying he's performing until it is proven beyond all reasonable doubt that this speaker have done this, has done this, has done this. That required for us to remove him. Obviously, what is the big news?
The big news in the corridor. Are you planning to remove the speaker?
But this is not the speaker house.
Are you one of those?
This place is not the speaker office. It's not a personal property. It's not anybody's personal property. Anybody who falls below the belt in terms of legislative proceedings or requirement, obviously, it behooves the members to ask you to step aside.
Do you want the
I'm saying to you now, if you perform below the belt, it behooves the members to say step aside.
Is the speaker performing below the belt?
No, he's performing.
Okay, so
he's performing. No, I don't want. It's not. I don't want him out. I'm saying he's performing until it is proven beyond all reasonable doubt that this speaker have done this, has done this, has done this. That required for us to remove him. Obviously,
who are asking for the speaker to recuse himself? What message?
Well, those who want the speaker to recuse himself, they the burden of prove lies on the accusers. So those who accuse the speaker to relinquish whatsoever position, those individuals have their justification. But I am saying, as we speak, the speaker still enjoy the confidence of some of us.
If you find reason to remove him, we'll let you
come again.
If you find reason to remove him,
obviously I remove and they go back, remove Papa Steamers and why not just remove
it's not a resolution?
No, there's no resolution.
Nation, you can control the floor against the vote. You can do such a thing with nay and nay. A king, let me be on the record for that. That's because you just get something, you can control the floor and do that. But you can do that and embarrassing us. How can you have one portion and you got all of the portions and you say yeah. You just need to do the right thing. And we're not going nowhere because I'm not talking the wrong thing. That will drive me all here today. And we're not getting to find you. No, I will talk the thing that is right. That is why you go, the right thing must be done. The right thing, no, you can't remember. You must want to see the wrong thing when you find. You must not tolerate. I want to let you go. You can't. I'm going to look at my parliament. In the nation, you can control the floor and get a vote. You can do such a thing with nay. A king, let me be on the record for that. That's because you just get something, you can control the floor and do that. But you can do that and embarrassing us. How can you have one portion and you got all of the portions and you say yeah. You just need to do the right thing. And we're not going nowhere because I'm not talking the wrong thing. That will drive me all in this nation. You can control the floor and get a vote. You can do such a thing with nay. A king, let me be on the record for that. Not because you just something, you can control the floor and do that. But you can do this and embarrassing us. How can you have one portion and you got all of the portions and it's not together you say yeah. That's why you just need to do the right thing. And we're not going nowhere because I'm not talking the wrong thing. That will drive me all here today. And we're not going to find something I'll give you. No, I will talk the thing that is right. That is why when you go, the right thing must be done. The right thing, no, you can't remember. You must not want to say the wrong thing will not be done. You will not tolerate. I want to let you go and then we can. I don't go to international parliament to find this time. There's no one who open the mouth to me. What punish me? Say a committee there. He said plenty for me. I will not die. Take it, you fella. You can tell all your community. I was telling I'm foolish you do it. I was pastor there. Let me be on the record. Last time what's the name? Okay, so Maya, what's the opinion you want to ask about? Come. Some people want to talk like this before they to their place. Please sleep there. Because we stay there, how things are happening. We don't want somebody. Like your friend will pass away when you are yeah.
Like you know today, I mean, kind of what are you doing? Tell them you MP, it's politics is not by the farmers. You understand? If you look at how many person that in the United Party that was sitting for in power, those people that the school that the power that in the food, and even people that they were calling for different no. Would that what they did? Would have tell them the number one in opposition, they have this to act for it. Would that call it by the name? But just the thing that we are all viewers. So we see your family member going astray in the order. Now we that we are being in the past. Every sport now is in the I was telling my friend the other day, you know, I love to joke. So, I say, see, God, that's a wonderful person without behavior. But sometimes we ourselves, we make God happy. We want to prove out God, something like, you know, today. I mean, everyone, what are you doing? Tell them you MP, it's politics is not by the farmers. You understand? If you look at how many person that in the United Party that was sitting for in power, those people that the school is at the power that in the food, and even people that they were calling for different people so that no. Would that what they did? Would have tell them the number one in opposition, they have this to act for it. Would that call it by the name? But just the thing that we are all viewers. So we see your family member going astray in the order. Now we that just giving, we are being in the past. Every sport now is in the game. I was telling my friend the other day, you know, I love to joke. So, I say, see, God, that's a wonderful person without behavior. But sometimes we ourselves, we make God happy. Something like, you know, today, I mean, kind of what are you doing?
Using the corridor, are you people planning to remove the speaker?
Are you
But
one
this
of
is not a
those?
speaker house.
Are you one of those?
This place is not a speaker office. It's not a person.
Do you want to remove him?
It's not anybody person. Anybody who falls below the belt in terms of legislative proceedings and or requirement, obviously it behooves the members to ask you to step aside.
Do you want the speaker out? That's the question.
I'm saying to you now, if you perform below the belt, it behooves the members to say step aside.
Is the speaker performing below the belt?
No, he's performing.
Okay, so you don't want him out?
No, I don't want him. It's not that I don't want him out. I'm saying he's performing until it is proven beyond all reasonable doubt that that speaker has done this, that required for us to remove him.
What message do you have for others who are asking for the speaker to recuse himself? What message do you have?
Well, those who want the speaker to recuse himself, they are the person the burden of and prove lies on the accuser. So those who accuse the speaker to relinquish whatsoever position, those individuals have their justification.
using the corridor. Are you people planning to remove the speaker?
Are you
But
one
this
of
is not a
those?
speaker house.
Are you one of those?
This place is not a speaker office. It's not a question.
Do you want to
of
remove
politics.
him?
It's not anybody person for it. Anybody who falls below the belt in terms of legislative proceedings and or requirement, obviously it behooves the members to ask you to step aside.
Do you want the speaker out? That's the
I'm
question.
saying to you now, if you perform below the belt, it behooves the members to say step aside.
Is the speaker performing below the belt?
No, he's performing.
Okay, so
He's
you don't want him
performing.
out?
No, I don't want him. It's not that I don't want him out. I'm saying he's performing until it is proven beyond all reasonable doubt that that speaker has done this, that required for us to remove him.
What message do you have for others who are asking for the speaker to recuse himself? What message do you have?
Well, those who want to speak of the accusers that they are the person the burden of and prove lies on the accusers. So those who accuse the speaker to relinquish whatsoever position, those individuals have their justification.
Okay. Good morning, Liberia, wherever you are and whatever you are doing. I'd like to say good morning and a pleasant welcome. This is the Today Show here on Spoon 107.5. With the time 23 minutes on the flip side of 8 o'clock, I'd like to welcome you to yet another fascinating edition of the Today Show. This is your most preferred breakfast program, the program that gives you just what you need for your breakfast. And of course, today happens to be the 14th day of the month of January, the month of Capricorns. And happy birthday to all of you celebrating your birthday in this month. Oh yes, I did celebrate mine on the 5th of January. My own good friend and brother, William Hammond, of the Daily Observer, has celebrated his. And a lot of folks, celebrating their birthday in this month of January. I'd like to say happy birthday, happy pre-birthday, happy belated birthday, and I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful celebration. So, folks, today's Wednesday, and today is a very, very sprightly day. It promises to be sprightly. Yesterday was a news day. A lot of happenings, newsworthy happenings, unfolded on yesterday, and we will be talking about some of those issues right here. You heard Anthony Williams of Maryland County talking about whether or not he supports the plan to remove Speaker Richard Cohen. Prior to the opening of the third section of the House of Representatives, there was this report around that some, representatives are planning to remove the Speaker Richard Nangbe Cohen, and we understand, among those representatives, the name Anthony Williams was one of those names that was talking about the removal of the Speaker Richard Nangbe Cohen, but apparently Anthony Williams has someone sorted. I mean, we got the information. We understand there were meetings held. One of the meetings, was held in the police academy area. Another one was held in the rehab area. Another one was scheduled to be held. That I don't know where it was held, as to whether it was even held or not. But I do know, and from my sources, 2 meetings were held to that effect. And one of the things they said is that during the opening of session, they're going to boycott session, and that they're going to boycott the SONAN, the State of the Nation address of His Excellency Ambassador Joseph Yuma Boaka. They, threatened to, boycott the State of the Nation address of the president. But on Monday, the House opened, and we saw some of those lawmakers in section. One of those lawmakers, is Anthony Williams. Anthony Williams is one of those lawmakers, but he's flip-flopped. Apparently, now he's saying that the speaker is performing. Yeah, that's what he's saying. Even though he's not been heard on any public platform, on any radio station or social media, talking about the removal of the Speaker of the House of Representatives. But, we have sources, and those sources are very, very reliable. And those sources have told us that Anthony Williams has been one of the, masterminders of that, plan, that news you heard about, plan to remove the speaker. He was, one of those spearheading that plan. Apparently, closed door meetings have been held with the Speaker of the House of Representatives, and some of their concerns, some of their plots have been addressed, and so they decided to back off. They decided to do away or bend down on their action. So that is it. But whatever the case is, we talk more about that as we go on with the show. Also yesterday up Capitol Hill, there was a protest by a group of young people under the banner Youth Alliance for Good Governance, and at 9 o'clock we'll be speaking to the spokesperson of that alliance. So they are actually going to petition the Senate, against the creation of 14 additional districts. As you may know, the lower house, has passed a bill, and this bill is currently before the Senate, and the bill is calling for the creation of 14 additional districts to be added onto the already 73 districts that we have. And of course, since the passage of that bill, is gotten a lot of mixed reactions, from the public. Most Liberians are against, the creation of additional districts, because the few, is going to be burdensome to the country. It's going to be a burden on the government, because those 14 lawmakers' salaries will have to be paid, their benefits. And yesterday, my colleague Nelson and myself did calculation just of their salaries, 14 of those lawmakers. So taking the least, we understand that, representatives are making somewhere around 7,000, 8,000 only in salary, just in salaries, excluding, benefit. So around 7,000 to 8,000. That is that disposable income. For those of you who did economics, that is the take-home pay. Okay, now, taking about at least 5,000, assuming that all lawmakers are making 5,000 United States dollars only in salary. So if you times 5,000 by the 14 lawmakers, is going to give you something around 70,000 per month. So that is the country will need to expend 70,000 in salaries and benefits for those new lawmakers. And per year, it's going to be something around 840,000. And if you should do that, if you do the calculation, their entire tenure, that is 6 years, we're talking about 5 million United States dollars. So we would need just in salary. I'm thinking about at least that is not the actual salary of lawmakers. That is not, like I said, representative salary is somewhere around 7,000 to 8,000 United States dollars. But I'm thinking about 5,000. So we'll be talking about 5 million in six year period for lawmaker salary. And I'm talking about the benefits. The huge benefits our lawmakers carry. So if you should, just add all of that, that's a lot of money. So it's predicated upon that, as some citizens have said, this isn't in the interest of the country. We must look at the financial implication. The financial burden is going to put on the government. So we need to disembark and wait for an appropriate or suitable time to do that. Okay, so those young people had gone there to petition their lawmakers, even though there was some tension there yesterday. As a matter of fact, according to them, they entered the premises of the house of the legislature strategically, and I want to believe so because the security protocol at the house at the legislature yesterday was tight. Yes, before even entering there yesterday, I was asked for my identity, and I have to show an identity before entering. So they tactically entered there, and they assembled at the entrance of the Senate building. They were there for some times, and nobody was coming down to receive their petition. According to them, at a certain point in time, they were pepper sprayed. That is allegedly, they said they were pepper sprayed by one of the security officers. For what reason exactly, I don't know, but like I said, is an allegation. Usually on protests like that, the security officers are not allowed to speak, or they must be authorized before speaking. So the allegation was just, levied yesterday. But there was a smell of pepper spray there. Actually, there was a smell of pepper spray there because we were there. But later on, their objective was met. The objective was to, present their petition to the Senate. And luckily for them, the senator from Nema County, Samuel Koga, was able to receive their petition, and he said that he's going to deliver it to, the relevant authority. But, receiving petition in this country and acting upon the petition. I mean, receiving the petition is one thing, and acting upon it is another thing. We know of too many, petitions that have been received over there by, members of the House of Representatives and even the Senate. Those petitions have just been received and, placed on the docket, and some of them have been there perpetually. Nothing, absolutely nothing, has been done about them. They are just there. So, we hope maybe the Senate can be able to, peruse, their petition and, take the best decision in the interest of the Liberian people. But like I said, we speak to David Chie. David Chie is the spokesperson of the petitioners yesterday, and so he be speaking more about their petition. today at 9 o'clock, and that's going to be via the telephone. A little on the show, folks, we ramble through the local dailies to know what's happening in the print media. You know, sometimes there are happenings in the print media that, you know, we hear on the radio or television don't flag, and some of those you know, happenings can be very interesting. So we will run through the local dailies to know what's happening there, and that's the line up of the show. Wherever you are and whatever you are doing, welcome, and let's have a wonderful time together. I'd like to recognize a few of those watching the show this morning. Vinicius Junior Ba is watching from New Cool Town. Vinicius, thanks for watching. Thomas Mbala Senior is watching the show from Upper Catwell. Thanks for following, Thomas. Happy Farmers Town Owner Farm. Thanks for watching the show. Paul Ningo Kola. I hope I got the pronunciation of your name right, Paul. Paul, thanks for following. Samson Wool is following from Gumpa City, Nima County. Samson, thanks for following the show. Pedro Wa, Mandina Cruz, thanks for following the show. Watching from Ghana. Okay, thanks for following from Ghana. And Amos McCarthy is also following from either Great Plains, United States of America. Thanks for following. Richard Dosky Richardson, thanks for following the show from Dupont Road. Yeah, J Vab is following the show. I think it should be DJ Vab, right? Yeah, it should be DJ Vab. DJ Vab, thanks for following the show. Aries Eugene Mensam Bala is following the show from Plebo, Maryland County, and says, good morning, Spawn TV. Lee A. Canning. Lee has been one of our religious followers, and Lee is still following us. It's been a while, Lee. Hope you're having a wonderful time. Thanks for following the show as well. And let's say good morning to Natasha Ping, following the show this morning. Alex J. Briswell Senior is following the show from River G County, Fishtown City. Thanks for following the show. Moses C. Patipa is following the show from Israel. Moses, thanks for following the show. Victor Fayad is following from Cardwell. Asata Nasa Kamara is following the show from Vonjaman City, Lofa County. Good morning from Vonjaman. Alex J. Briswell. I think I recognize Alex already. So good morning, Martin, Jerry, Christopher, Divan, Wallace. Good morning to all of you, and thanks for following the show this morning. We'd like to quickly cut across Liberia to speak with our correspondents before talking about some of the trending issues right here in Monrovia, Liberia, or Montserrado County. Let's see if we can talk to King Brown from Grand Bassa County to tell us what's unfolding there in that part of the country. And I'd like to say speedy recovery to our Nimba County correspondent, Victor Cooper. He's not faring well. I wish you a speedy recovery, Victor. He's one of our very, very hard working correspondents. Yeah, so let's try to connect with King Brown. King Brown is now on the line. King, good morning and welcome. How are you?
Good morning. Yagazi. I'm good this morning. I'm glad to be on the show. Thank you for connecting me.
Okay, thanks for joining us. What's happening there in the Grand Bassa County? First, to tell us, how is Grand Bassa County?
Well, Grand Bassa County is relatively cool. Since we woke up this morning from bed, we have not heard any disturbing news across the county. All right, so yeah, so the county, is stable, and things are moving on this morning in the post city of Buchanan.
Okay, and in Grand Bassa County, there we are hearing that members of an affected community in the county are expected to begin receiving compensation payments on Wednesday as the county administration moves to address concerns that are linked to what they call agro-industrial processing zone. Tell us more about this.
Well, so the special agro-industrial processing zone there was a project that was launched sometimes back last year in the county, and that project, during that project launch, it brought the vice president of Liberia, Jeremiah Kwanku, who came here to represent the president of Liberia at that program. So they told the residents who gathered that that project is meant to empower farmers. So they are going to be focused more on producing products that comes from agriculturists, and they have promised that agriculturists are going to get huge benefits from the farm the moment that project starts immediately in the county. So, but when the project moved in that part of the county around Electoral District 5, Grand Bassa County, there were people who are living around the environment where the project sites has been identified or situated, and they needed to move some of the people from where they were because of the kind of facility that they want to build and how they want to operate in an identical area, taking into consideration the chemical and the hazard environment that they're going to create. So they had some discussion with the people, and they resolved on giving them benefits so that they can use those money and relocate themselves and reestablish their lives. So they came up with an agreement, and the project being fully financed or supported by the African Development Bank, they decided to earmark 65 individuals who they said they have approved to be the direct beneficiary of the direct beneficiary, of those who will be living from their residence to relocate. So the total amount that have been earmarked that will be distributed today to those 65 beneficiaries is in the tune of $312,000 United States dollars, and that money is going to be distributed on 65 individuals who were earmarked and approved by those who are implementing the project,
Okay.
and that of the county authority. So the project that we're talking about here, Yagazi, is in the tune of $19.41 million. Project is being funded by the African Development Bank and that of the Liberian government, and that project is situated in Grand Bassa County. And as we speak, they have started the construction of the fence, and they said the fencing project is going to run for 18 months. So that is what they're going to happen today, and in Buchanan, any moment from now, by 10 o'clock. I have been told by the county information officer Edmund Burke that the county administration, the district fire lawmaker Honorable Thomas Alexander Gosua, and the county superintendent Honorable Kai Johnson will be moving to the district to join the officials who will come from the special agro industrial processing zone to join them on the protest, so that those who have been earmarked to see how they can start giving their benefits to them today.
King, do we know how much each person will be walking away with today?
Well, they have not disclosed that information. I was concerned about how much dollars each person is going to receive, or whether everybody going to receive the same amount. But they have told me, the county information officer informed me that they have not given him that information. So he has told that when the superintendent comes to office by 9 o'clock, then he's going to get back to us to let us know about it.
Okay, and based on what was the criteria used, to select those who have been approved for this fund?
Well, they said that the criteria, one of the criteria was people who live around or who live close to the operation of where they are building the special agro-industrial processing zone factory. So those who live around that, who live closer to the concession, are the ones who they have told to move. So relocated.
I mean, I know there are several people who live there, but now among those several individuals who live in that particular vicinity, 65 have been selected and approved to benefit from the distribution of that money. So that's why I'm asking, based on what criteria, those that were selected initially were selected.
Yeah, so they have said that the 65 individuals that was selected, these were people who were very close, who are living close, very close to to where the concession is situated, and
Okay.
they have to take these people out because they were very close to the concession. They live, I can say, almost in the concession. So that's why they selected the 65 homes around the identical area to move back a little bit. But the other people who were not selected, they are not closer to the concession as compared to the 65 individuals that were earmarked to move.
Okay, so the closest individuals, the closest homes to the concession area were those homes selected initially, but are other homes that are not the closest to the concession area but are closer to the concession area, will residents of those homes benefit as well?
According to what we gathered, they did not earmark them, or they only earmarked 65% approved so far to benefit. If they have that plan, probably that could be maybe done later, and when we should have seen that. So far, so good, they have made it clear that only 65% stands to benefit today to get the funds.
Okay, King, thank you very much. Any other development?
Well, another development here in the county is around the issue around the police commander. You know, Morovia Junction has been used as area where car loaders normally park, encourage drivers to park their vehicles on the main road to load their cars, and they stop going to the parking lot or the terminal to load a vehicle from there. So as a result of loading that vehicle on the main road, that has been causing some traffic congestion. It has also been making people to avoid going to the terminal, and everyone would park their cars on the main road to load. So the police commander of Grand Bassa County, Williams Johnson, has disclosed that beginning this 2026, they are going to put stringent measure in place to ensure that no vehicle is parked on the main road to load. Any vehicle driver caught doing that, instead that they are going to make sure that they have that person arrested, and a vehicle is going to be parked or impounded at the police and pay fines and all of that. So he has sent this this clear call out to commercial drivers and those who are vehicle owners that they should stop loading their vehicles on the main road. If anybody want to take passengers, we encourage them to go to the parking lot or the terminal where they are going to take their passengers. So that message has gone across, and the FRTL, they have already approved that statement coming from the police commander, because they are the sole proprietor to regulate commercial vehicles here in the county. Meaning, they are the one who heading the transport sector here when it comes to vehicle going to Morovia and coming back to Buchanan and all of that.
Thank you. Thank you very much, King Brown, our Grand Bassa County correspondent there, filling us in with developments from Grand Bassa. So it's 10 minutes up until 8 o'clock. That's 9 o'clock, I'm sorry. So at now, we play host to David Chie. David Chie is the spokesperson of the Youth Alliance for Good Governance. They petitioned the Senate only yesterday against the creation of 14 additional districts in their country, a bill that sprang up from the lower house currently at the Liberian Senate. They will decide whether to have it passed or not. Okay, but this, organization on the banner Youth Alliance for Good Governance is calling on their lawmakers, the senators, to reject that bill, not to pass that bill because of the financial implication, that comes with it. They say it's going to be burdensome for the country financially. Already, about more than 70% of the country's budget is expended expended on recurring expenditure. So if you create more districts, the more money you'll be, budgeting for salaries and benefits again for lawmakers, and we already do know how exorbitant our lawmakers' salaries are. So you're listening to the Today Show. I've been trying to connect with Solomon Tipler to fill us in with developments from Bapolo County, but apparently I'm not getting him. So we have to move on with the show. So for the first time since he was accused of ripping a 14-year-old girl, Bryant McGill, the suspended deputy minister, has spoken. He's broken silence, and I have the statement here, and I want to read his statement verbatim. I want to read it as he wrote it. So yesterday, Bryant McGill wrote this statement, and also the erudite lawyer, Tiawan Gonklo, also on yesterday released a statement about this same matter. I think he's requesting the police for, all of the evidence or pieces of evidence they were able to gather in this case, to be submitted to the family, probably to convince them that actually, the police, did not find anything, based on what they gather. But we will read a statement coming from the councillor Tiawan Gonklo. But first, let's read the statement from the former Deputy Minister Bryant McGill. He writes and he says, "Members of the press, fellow Liberians, partners, and friends, thank you for being here today and for allowing me to address." So this was a press conference, okay? It was a press conference held yesterday. Journalists were present, so it's the statement that I'm reading directly. So he says, "Thank you for being here today and for allowing me to address the Liberian people directly regarding the rape allegation that has followed me since August 11, 2025. I appear before you today to reaffirm my innocence, to place verifiable facts, documented facts on the public record, following thorough investigation by the Liberian National Police under the leadership of Inspector General Gregory O.W. Coleman. I was formally exonerated of the rape allegation made against me. The investigation found no evidence to substantiate the claim, and the findings clearly established that the allegation could not be supported by facts, forensics, or circumstances. This outcome came through due process, forensic review, and professional investigation. Let me again state clearly and unequivocally, since returning to Liberia from the United States on August 8, 2025, I did not meet, see, or interact with the alleged victim at any time, in any place, or under any circumstance. That fact was central to the police investigation and was confirmed during the process that led to my exoneration. For clarity and public understanding, it is important to address the specific claim relating to Saturday, August 30, 2025. August 30 was a Saturday and a non-working day. I did not go to the SKD Sports Complex to work on that day. I do not have personal access to my office keys. Access to my office requires the presence of 2 assigned staff members, neither of whom was available or present. Therefore, it is impossible for anyone to bring food or for any interaction to occur in any office space I was not present in and could not access. On that same day, Saturday, August 30, I spent the entire day at Alpha Field until late in the evening in the presence of prominent and well-known individuals, including Choko Nathaniel Roberts, Kelvin Sibwe, Alvan Brown, Coach Lucretius Toba, and Attorney Coley Doka. That's Doko, sorry. We later departed separately. I returned directly to my residence and did not leave my house again that day until the next day, which was Sunday. These facts are verifiable. You be the judge. Despite the official findings of the Liberia National Police, my name, reputation, and family have been subjected to sustained public trial and moral condemnation. This is why I found it necessary to speak today, not to attack anyone, but to defend truth and justice. At this critical moment, I make a respectful but firm call to institutions and leaders who have historically stood by human rights, youth development, and women's empowerment to stand consistently for justice. According to the Federation of Liberian Youth, FLA, the Liberian National Student Union, LENSU, the Mano River Union Youth Department, the United Nations Resident Coordinator in Liberia, UN Women UNICEF Liberia, the NGO Secretariat, national and international women's organizations, and distinguished women leaders, including Lema Bowie, Mary Lauren Brown, and others who have dedicated their lives to justice. I urge you to go a step further to acknowledge the findings of the Liberian National Police and to call on the Minister of Gender, Children, and Social Protection and the Minister of Youth and Sports to act swiftly, ensuring that truth, evidence, and due process are respected and upheld. Justice must not be selective. Women's rights must not be politicized or weaponized. And innocence must not be ignored once facts are established. I believe strongly in protecting women and children. At the same time, I believe that false allegations, when proven as such, undermine general survivors and erode public confidence in our justice system. I cooperated fully with the authorities from day one, and I will continue to respect the rule of law. I will not litigate this matter in the media, but I will also accept injustice. I will also not accept injustice or silence in the face of verified truth. To those who stood by me with faith, restraint, and principle, I thank you. To those who judged prematurely, I ask you to reflect on the weight of evidence and the responsibility that comes with public commentary. We empathized with the victim and her family, and we pray sincerely that the perpetrator of this crime would be found and prosecuted, not to only further vindicate me or my reputation, but that justice would be served. The truth has spoken through lawful investigation. History will record it accurately. Thank you. God bless Liberia. So that's a statement coming from Brian McGill, the suspended deputy minister at the Ministry of Youth and Sport. So yesterday he broke silence since this accusation against him. I believe his lawyers, had advised him not to speak out on it until the police can conclude their initial investigation. And of course, the police have done that, and he's come out to speak. He remains consistent. He denies the allegation continuously. And of course, police investigation has vindicated him. He's been acquitted, he's been exonerated. So he's calling on the public, to yield to the police investigation and calling on, well-meaning Liberians who have always stood for human rights, to also stand up for his right. But to this same effect, Councillor Tiawon Gonglo, I'm trying to lay my hands on this statement by Councillor Tiawon Se Gonglo pertaining this particular matter. So I think he's requesting. I hope this is the right page for Councillor Gonglo. I'm not sure. This is it. Yeah. So just pardon me for a while. I'm trying to actually get to the statement released by Councillor Tiawon Gonglo. I think this is it. Yeah, this is it. So this is what Councillor Tiawon Gonglo wrote about the case yesterday. And he says Gonglo Associates Incorporated. The date is January 13, 2026, and it's to Honorable Gregory Coleman of the Liberian National Police. It says the subject is request for full investigation report and supporting evidence in alleged statutory rape investigation involving a 14-year-old girl as victim and Honorable Bryant McGill, then Deputy Minister of Youth and Sports, as the alleged perpetrator. So basically he's requesting for the investigative report and all of the supporting evidence in this saga, in this entire matter involving the Deputy Minister and the 14-year-old girl. So this is what he wrote, and I read verbatim. He says, we present our compliments and write in our capacity as a legal counsel to the family of the minor child, age 14, who in September 2025 reported an allegation of rape against Honorable Bryant McGill, former Deputy Minister of Youth and Sports for Youth Development. We are informed by the family that on January 12, 2026, the Liberian National Police released a final investigative report told the public indicating that the suspect was found not to be culpable. Following extensive investigative measures, including forensic and technical analysis conducted both locally and internationally, while we acknowledge the efforts of the Liberian National Police in conducting what appears to have been a thorough investigation under challenging circumstances, we respectfully request, in the interest of transparency, fairness, and the rights of the victim, that the following be formally made available to the family through undersigned counsel. The complete final investigation. So these are, things. These are the reports that Councillor Tiawon Gonglo is requesting to be made available to the family for the sake of, transparency, fairness, and the rights of the victim. So he's requesting the police to submit these, final reports or pieces of evidence to the family. So one, he says, the complete final investigation report issued by the Liberian National Police. Number two, he says, copies or certified summaries of forensic and scientific findings, including but not limited to DNA analysis reports conducted outside Liberia, CCTV and digital forensic analysis reports, any medical or laboratory findings relied upon. And number three, he's requesting a summary of the methodology and standards applied in reaching the investigative conclusion of non-culpability. He goes on to say this request is made without prejudice and should not be construed as an accusation or a challenge to the professionalism of the investigating officers. Rather, it is grounded in the well-established principle that where a minor alleges a grave offense and an investigation is concluded without prosecution, the complainant and her family are entitled to understand the evidentiary basis of that conclusion. Transparency in such sensitive matters is essential not only for the confidence of the affected family, but also for sustaining public trust in the integrity and impartiality of law enforcement institutions, particularly in cases that have attracted huge public attention and involved exceptional investigative procedures. We respectfully request that the above referenced materials be made available within a reasonable time, and kindly ask that all correspondence be directed through undersigned counsel. Please accept, Honorable Inspector General, the assurances of our highest professional consideration. Respectfully submitted, Councillor Tawan C. Gonglo, Councillor at Law, for and on behalf of the family of the minor complainant. Yeah. So, Councillor Tiawan Gonglo, the human rights lawyer, is requesting the Liberia National Police to make available, for the sake of fairness, for the sake of transparency, and for the rights of the victim, the 14-year-old victim who was allegedly raped, by Bryant McGill, the former Deputy Minister at the Ministry of Youth and Sport. He's requesting that the final complete investigation, the investigative report issued by the Liberia National Police be submitted to the family. Copies of certified summaries of forensic and scientific findings, including but not limited to the DNA analysis reports conducted outside Liberia, be submitted to the family. The CCTV and digital forensic analysis reports also be submitted. Any medical or laboratory findings that was relied upon to come to a conclusion is requesting that these documents be made available, and a summary of the method and the standards that were applied in reaching to the investigative conclusion that the former deputy minister is not guilty, or he's not culpable of the act. So that is what he's requesting for. He's a lawyer. I think he knows more. I think his decision might be legally grounded. I don't know whether whether there's any law that that demands that the police who do such. But I think he's a lawyer, and he knows best. And we look forward to see how this is going to play. But I will support this, even if there is no law that demands the Liberia National Police to submit such report to the family or to Councillor Tiawan Gonglo. I think, like he said in his statement, for the sake of transparency, for the sake of fairness, for the sake of the rights of the victim, I think this should be these documents or reports requested for. I think they should be submitted. There should be no hindrance, or there should be no hesitation from the police. When it comes to submitting these documents for the sake of transparency and fairness. So, folks, that's it. It's 11 minutes on the flip side of 9 o'clock. You were listening to the Today Show right here on Spoon 107.5. My name is Yekezi Zubel. We take a very short break. When we come back, we will speak to David Chie via the telephone. Yeah, our correspondent is no more on, so let's get this out. Yeah, so we speak to David Chie Via the telephone, David Chie is the spokesperson of the Youth Alliance for Good Governance. Like I said, they submitted a petition yesterday to the House of Representatives to, reject the bill from the lower house. Creating additional districts, 14 new districts to the 73 districts we already have. So they said they are against that. That the 73 districts we have already is enough, and that increasing it is just increasing it has a lot of financial implications. But we take a short break. We'll come back. We'll speak to David Chie, the spokesperson of that group.
As mentioned, you can control the floor and get a vote. You can do such a thing with yeah and nay. Again, let me be on the record for that. Not because you can control the floor and do that. But you can do this and embarrassing us. How can you have everyone portion and you got all of them portion and it's not together and you say yeah and nay? That's why you just need to do the right thing. I will not go nowhere because I'm not talking the wrong thing. That will drive me all of here today. I will not get into California. I'll kick you. No, I will talk the thing that is right. That is why when you go, the right thing must be done. The right thing, no, you can't remember. You must forward and say the wrong thing will not be done. You will not tolerate it. I want to let you go and then we can. I don't go to international parliament to find this and the CIB. There's no one who coming to open the mouth for me. What punish me? Stay a committee there. When you say plenty for me, I will not die. Take it, you fella. You can tell your committee. I will stay late. I'm foolish. I will pass for there. Let me be on the record. Last time I will. Listen now. I'll get some money. What's the opinion you want to ask about? Some people want to talk like this before they to the place. Don't sleep there. Because we sit there, our things are happy. We don't want support you. Because like your friend will pass away when you are
Using the corridor, are you people planning to remove the speaker?
Are you
But
one
this
of
is not a
those?
speaker house.
Are you one of those?
This place is not a speaker office. It's not a question.
Do you want to remove him?
It's not anybody person for it. Anybody who falls below the belt in terms of legislative proceedings and or requirement, obviously it behooves the members to ask you to step aside.
Do you want the speaker out? That's the question.
I'm saying to you now, if you perform below the belt, it behooves the members to say step aside.
Is the speaker performing below the belt?
No, he's performing.
Okay, so you don't want him out?
No, I don't want him. It's not that I don't want him out. I'm saying he's performing until it is proven beyond all reasonable doubt that that speaker has done this, that required for us to remove him.
What message do you have for others who are asking for the speaker to recuse himself? What message do you have?
Well, those who want the speaker to recuse himself, they are the burden of and prove lies on the accusers. So those who accuse the speaker to relinquish whatsoever position, those individuals have their justification.
Okay, a pleasant welcome. This is the Today Show here on Spoon 107.5. You just listened or watched Anthony Williams, he's a lawmaker from Maryland County. Yep, a lawmaker there from Maryland County. He was being, questioned by journalists about whether he does support the removal of the speaker. Because according to reliable sources, he's been one of the masterminds behind the planned removal of Speaker Richard Coon that's been reported in the media of recent and on social media. But at some point he said he's he does not support the removal. He says the speaker is performing, and at some point he said he wants the speaker out, so he made some contradicting statements, but currently we have on the line David Chie. is the spokesperson, I understand, for the Youth Alliance for Responsible Governance. He's on the line. Yesterday, they submitted a petition to senators at the legislature, calling for the senators to reject the bill calling for the creation of 14 additional districts. And that bill has been passed by the lower house and now is before the Senate for passage. But they are saying the bill shouldn't be passed by their senators. David is on the line. David, good morning and welcome to the show.
Good morning, Yakazi. It's a pleasure being live on your show this morning to talk about issues that matter to Liberia, and I'm honored.
Okay, it's good having you on the show. Yesterday, successfully, you petitioned the lawmakers, particularly the senators, to reject the creation of new additional districts in the country. First, tell us the backdrop or the basis of your petition.
So thank you. Precisely yesterday, like I told you during the interview before the senators could come down to receive the petition, I told you that I'm an optimist and I knew that yesterday was going to be successful. And so like we predicted, it happened. So the backdrop of our petition is very simple. The backdrop is that we came together as intellectuals and pro-democracy activists in the spirit of good governance and constitutional order to call the House of Representatives to check. We think they usurped the function of another organ of government, and there was a clear constitutional breach in the bill that was passed. Besides that, if you took your microphone as a journalist, yesterday I listened to your interview with Honorable Ellen Atol, and you heard what she said, right? She said in Ghana, even though they do census, but after the census, it does not determine whether they will increase electoral districts. She says they use the census data as a means of focusing on other economic and development areas in their country. So she thinks that same can also be applied to Liberia. Besides that, she thinks and believes that it is not necessary, given the economic burden the passage of that bill brings on the country, on the citizens, because we are the ones who are going to feel the brunt of it. So we too share similar sentiments, right? So we came out yesterday, like I stated, if you took your microphone as a journalist and went to the marketplaces to ask of the people's opinion on the legislature, the first thing they will ask you, the lawmakers then will get what they're doing for offer that Moka increase them. So this is democracy. This is the people's opinion. This is what they think. So you cannot impose on them something they are not willing to accept. So it was in that spirit of good governance, in the spirit of the people's power, in the spirit of petitioning our lawmakers when there are grievances and issues of national concern. It was in that spirit that we came together yesterday as young people, spontaneously exercising the gumption and courage to go out there to petition our leaders. And that's what we did in a peaceful manner yesterday. Even though we were provoked, we were attacked, there was some level of casualty on us, but we were not deterred. We went and achieved our goal.
Okay. Yeah. So one of the arguments, is that, and one of the rationale behind the creation of new districts is a lot of the lawmakers are pointing to adequate representation. That some districts are very big, and over the years the population of the country has increased. So some of those districts need to be redemarcated to ensure adequate and proper representation. So and that is the rationale. One of the rationale, behind the lawmakers' decision. What do you make about this? Don't you think adequate representation is necessary at this time?
That's inexcusable. I think that argument is untenable. Yes, I understand and I agree that the reason as the population grows, that you come together to try to reapportion is in the spirit of having the citizens adequately represented. But let's face it, we have one of the most populated legislature vis-a-vis the population to that of the people who represent us compared to other countries in the sub-region. Ghana has a population of approximately 35 million people. There are about 276 people in the parliament in Ghana. If you compare that to Liberia population vis-a-vis, you will know that we have more people in parliament. Besides, if you read Article 80D of the Constitution, it gives a limit for the number of people we can have in parliament and number of constituencies we can have. It says you cannot exceed 100, right? So let's prognosticate to say as the population grows, maybe 10 years from now, because we're talking about the future, 20 years from now, 30 years from now, the next 3 census we will have, because after every 10 years, 30 years from now, after the next 3 census, you are pushing that we go to 87 seats. We will have remaining 13 seats. So don't you think that those guys who may even want to amend that component of the Constitution to say that they can exceed that limit of 100 and even go beyond more than that? I mean, that.
David, are you there? Okay.
The needs of the people are. You have to look at what the demands are, what the needs of the people are, in order to go about making any major decision. So I think with the current people we have in parliament, we have 73 lawmakers in parliament. The citizens are still undercounted. The citizens are still underrepresented. My brother, you know the reason why they feel overburdened? I tell you, no lawmaker should feel overburdened by representing even 20,000, 30,000, 40, 50,000 people in parliament. There are other districts. Let's face it, other places, other countries. People want constituency. People have over 200,000 people there. In America, someone has been lawmaker since 1976. Nancy Pelosi, we read about, went in the parliament in America since the 1980s. Chuck Schumer, the current minority leader in the Senate in America, has been a member of Congress since the 1970s. He has not lost an election. The senators over there go for election after every 6 years, representative after every 2 years. Why you think those people are still serving the people? It's because they have stuck to those 3 cardinal responsibilities they have, and they have been able to provide for the citizens in a manner that the people don't really have to focus on politics and don't really have to focus, on trivial things. The people there focus on what they really do to execute their duties and responsibilities. Our lawmakers feel overburdened because they want to build toilets, because they want to build hand pumps, because they want to check from their original responsibilities. Some of them don't even understand what their roles and duties are. They do things that they should not be doing. So that is happening because they have created an environment wherein people will continue to beg them for handouts, wherein people will continue to go to them, students will go to them for scholarship. When woman gives birth, that person has to go to them for assistance. So we are saying we don't need more lawmakers, we need jobs. We need sustainable income opportunities. When you provide jobs for us and we're working, you can even be lawmaker representing 200,000 people in a constituency. We can even, because yesterday you read our petition, we are saying the threshold of 20,000 is some of the population has room. Let's make it 50,000. So you can even be a lawmaker representing over 50,000 people. Once there are job opportunities, once the citizens have something to do, they are not concerned about this politics too much. They're busy in the morning, going to work, coming back in the evening. When there is a time for election, they will evaluate you based on the work you've done, given your 3 cardinal responsibilities. This man has been maybe on a committee on state-owned enterprises. How has he been able to effectively have oversight on those entities and state-owned enterprises that honor his reach, honor his jurisdiction? This man has been a lawmaker. What laws has he been able to promulgate? Has he been able to proffer that have been successfully passed? This man, has he really represented our interests? Those are things people will be looking at. That is how they will be picturing you. That is how they'll be evaluating you. Until they can do that, they will feel overburdened. I can tell you, Yekezi, we can divide the district all we want. We can say, you know, that's made 150 constituencies. Those guys will still feel overburdened because the way our politics is looking like. Yesterday, you were asking me who's supporting what we did. So, I mean, I was shocked because I'm not saying I was shocked because, you know, I know that that has not been a trend. I'm aware that's how things have been in this country. But if we continue to do things that conventional way, if we continue to follow that same pattern, the change we talk about, do you really think that that change is attainable in this country? It's not possible. So that's what we're coming on with, a new dimension, with a new style of politicking, with a new style of activism. I want people to really desire to be genuine in what they want to do. This country, like I wrote, is in a dire need for change. And we have to be very honest in what we do until the lawmakers can stick to their cardinal responsibilities by ensuring effective oversight, wherein government agencies and ministries that are responsible to provide jobs can be able to do it. They will continue to feel overburdened, my brother. Trust me. So that entire argument is untenable right now.
Okay, so in summary, in your petition, you are requesting that the bill be notified, that it shouldn't be, passed by the Senate, already passed by the House of Representatives, but shouldn't be passed by the Senate, and that the senators must consider repealing the threshold criteria outlined in Article 80D of the 1986 Constitution. Those are your two requests.
That's correct. That's correct. Because we think, I mean, not we think, but on the basis of constitutional order, like we stated, there is a clear constitutional breach. If you read Article 80E, it says immediately following a national census and before the next election, the Electoral Commission shall reapportion constituencies. What do we consider as a constituency in our own setting? Is an electoral district. So it says the Electoral Commission, not the legislature. That's why I told Honorable Koga yesterday. I said you've been around for some time. In 2008, when a national census was held, in 2010, subsequently, which was immediately after the national census in 2008, as prescribed by the Constitution, in 2010, both houses of the legislature went and signed a joint resolution mandating the Electoral Commission to use the statistics, to use the data from the census to go about reapportionment. That's how they went about creating additional non-districts. We had 64 electoral districts. That's the same thing we had expected for the legislature, whether it was 54th or whoever, to have done right after the national census. If you read Article 39 also of the Constitution, it says the legislature shall cause for a national census every 10 years. Between you and me, that the legislature can come to your house to ask you how many people in your house living here to come take data from you for census. Not the legislature. It is legis, but it is the legislature's core responsibility to mandate those people. That's part of their oversight. So we are saying, do not try to overlap your function, and that's what it did. Yep. It's a constitutional breach, I think, as private citizens, I think as law-abiding citizens, in as much as we can be, restricted, we can be mandated to live by the law. Those same lawmakers will not be lawbreakers.
Thank you.
Adhere to what was written.
Thank you.
Finally,
thank you, David. And yesterday you did submit your petition. It was received, but in this country we've seen time without number. Petitions submitted to senators, petitions submitted to representatives, and those petitions are just placed on the docket. They are languishing on the docket. Nothing absolutely is done about those petitions. So receiving the petition is one thing, but acting upon the petition is another thing. So now that your petition has been accepted, if it's not acted upon and that bill is passed, what are some implications you foresee?
Well, we have explicit confidence in the people who came to receive that petition yesterday, also present during the deliberation was the Secretary of the Senate. He was sent by the President pro tempore. The Secretary of the Senate is technically the administrative head of the Senate. He was also present. So we are saying Honorable Coker is a reputable man. He signed, he spoke his number. We did a return copy that we have with that. We will do a follow-up. But trust me, for adventure, in our Liberian Senate, we can say, God forbid, when that bill is passed, wherein the senators have seen a clear constitutional breach, and I've also seen that this is not in the expressed will of the Liberian people. When that bill is passed by that House or Senate, we will activate other portions of the Constitution of Liberia that have never been activated. Perhaps they have been dormant. We as young people, the same courage, the same gumption we had yesterday to have gone out there, we will use that same courage to activate other portions of the Constitution that have not been activated.
When you talk about activating other portions of the Constitution that have not been activated, do you want to expand on that?
So I relate you to Article 2 of the Constitution. Article 2 have two sections. They has A, also has B. A talks about any law, statutes, custom, whatsoever legislation that is inconsistent with the Constitution, should to the extent of its inconsistency be nullified and considered void. Also, if you read Article 2B of the same Constitution, it says the judicial branch of government, the judiciary now, which has that power to interpret our laws, has the final say, is the final arbiter of justice. It is the judicial system of our country that can also nullify any portion of the Constitution or any law that is inconsistent with the Constitution. So when that happens, in short, in a clear term, we are saying we are going to go to the court, to the judiciary, to be able to petition them to review that legislation that was passed. Therefore, the judiciary, which has erudite lawyers, people with deep insight on the law, will definitely go about rejecting and nullifying that entire thing as it is inconsistent, procedurally inconsistent with Article 80E of the Constitution. It's clear. We are going to exercise that power. I mean, that portion of the Constitution has been dormant. How many times have people, even attempted to go about doing that? So we are saying this is a new dawn. We're going to do that.
Okay. Chia, thank you very much. It's been a wonderful time having you on. Is there anything you want to say that probably did not ask?
Well, nothing except to appreciate you because, the media is a very valuable partner in what we do, the activism we do. I mean, some people in the media do harsher job, but you people yesterday, you were with us in the very process. You follow us. I mean, you were able to give us courage this morning. Again, you are having my voice heard. You are not doing this because you want me to be heard or seen. You are doing this because you think there are young people who are passionate about change, who are exuberant, who want this country to move forward, who have genuine issues, and let their voices be heard. Not those regular politicians who will always come with their rhetorics and theatrics and not offer anything substantial to the Liberian people. So when we speak, you elevate our voices. So this partnership, it should be one that we should cherish. And as young people, I mean, take the microphone to people who really got it. My brother, that's the only way the country will flourish. You, the media, you are the ones who are there to safeguard our democracy. And if you start to give platform to young people who are passionate, people who are driving change, I think it will help one way or the other. You are using your profession to help bring about change. So I want to thank you as a brother for being very generous. You and Nelson yesterday, you got there a fantastic job. We are so grateful. Liberian people, it is time for us to open our eyes. With the current trend of happening in this country, with how unemployment is skyrocketing, with how people are living in despair and depression every day, if we don't come together, if we don't unite, if we continue to cap ourselves with that partisan mentality, oh, I'm a Seditian, I'm a UPS, I'm a party here. If anything the person does, even if it's wrong, I will support it because the person is my demagogue. This country will not move forward. We ourselves, we will not move forward. We should be ashamed for where we are as a country. We can make a lot of progress if we come together and we are passionate about change in this country. We will consider ourselves intellectuals. We will consider ourselves conscious people. It's time to forget about the politics business. Let's put this country first. Let's fight for change. Whenever we see that someone's right is being undermined, let's go and defend that person because it may be you today, tomorrow. Okay. Today, the Constitution is being breached. No one's talking about it. The way we came out to talk about it, the next time something happened, let us come together and talk about it. Thank you so much, and I appreciate the time talking to Spoon FM this morning.
Thank you very much. David Chie is the spokesperson of the Youth Alliance for Responsible Governance. They're speaking with us. This organization only yesterday petitioned the Senate, against the enactment of a bill, seeking to create 14 additional districts in the country. And that petition was received by Nimba County Senator Koga, Samuel Koga, who then promised to, give it to the relevant authority. But folks, it's 37 minutes on the flip side of 9 o'clock. That is about 23 minutes up to 10 o'clock. We take calls, but just before we take calls, there's something I want to talk about here. And currently in the Peace Island community, not Peace, Peace Island. That's Peace Island. So in the Peace Island area, some demolitions are going on there. Houses that were built along the alleyways, those houses are being demolished for the purpose of development. Development comes with a lot of struggles. The development does not come easy. It comes with adversities, with a lot of difficulties. So if Liberia must be developed, then of course we need to cooperate with the government when they are undertaking initiatives to bring about development in the country. In this country, the issue of fire disaster has been a very serious issue. A lot of people have lost their lives from that, and some of those reasons is because of the way we built or construct our homes in this country. People will look at alleyways and build their homes on them. And the unfortunate thing, we have the Ministry of Public Works, who should be regulating, all of these things, but they seem not to care. People build any way they want to build. And at the end of the day, when the government wants to take on a certain initiative, they have to start to break down homes and compensate people. Which I think is a waste of money, because the government should be there, especially the Ministry of Public Works, should be there to, provide that guidance to citizens as to what to do and how to do it if they want to buy land and if they want to construct their homes, how to do these things that will give way for the streets in the various communities to not be blocked, the alleyways to not be built on, the swampland to not be built on. These guardians must be given by the government, but the government doesn't do that. And quite frankly, some of the citizens go and ignorantly build their homes along the alleyway. Some do it deliberately. Some know that, I tell you, there's an alleyway, but because it's been sold to me for small money. So let me take advantage of it. And as a matter of fact, there are a lot of people, whose homes are, built on alleyways, and and nothing has been done and all of that. So I'm saying this to say, and I'm in sympathy with a good friend and brother of mine, Yeka Sekwe. I'm flagging this issue because of one reason. Because in this country, when the government tend to take action against individuals who are, maybe members of the opposition community or who are part of an opposition political party, I mean, it's politicized. It's said that, the government is witch hunting that individual. So, for example, if an opposition politician whom is along a road and maybe road works are about to be carried out in that particular area, and that home is marked as one of those homes to be demolished in Liberia, we will turn that whole thing upside down. We'll say, oh, the witch hunting, that opposition politician. Yes. But in this case, in the Peace Island community currently as we speak, and I would like to, show a footage of that for those of you that are watching, to actually see what I'm talking about. So the home of Yeke Sekui. Yeke Sekui is he had contested in district number 10 for the representative seat. He did not win, and I believe he still has an ambition of contesting for that seat. He's a very, very successful young man. I mean, did not get his money from politics, outside of politics, and get out of he became very, 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 very successful, and he's been able to build some good homes for himself. But unfortunately, some of those mansions, some of those several story buildings that he built in the Peace Island community are those buildings that are being demolished today in the Peace Island community. The mansion that I know he resides in the Peace Island community, is being demolished. I saw a video. He himself posted that video of his home being demolished, and I know how painful it is for that to happen to an individual, because some of us have gone through it before. Demolition of your home, after expending, after investing a lot of money, and you see at the end of the day, your home is being demolished. It comes with a lot of pain, and especially so, a home of such value. Talking about a mansion, and that is not the only home. He had, as per the video he posted, 2 different buildings of his are being demolished. Now, why am I flagging this? I'm flagging this because Yeke Sekui is the son of the vice president. Notably, he's the son of the vice president of the Republic of Liberia. But his home is being demolished. One may say he could use his maybe connection with the vice president to ensure that maybe his home doesn't get affected by the demolition exercise. But no. But if it were an opposition politician's home in that particular locale and is targeted for demolition, we would have taken it out of the question. We would have twisted it. We would have politicized that whole thing. But the son of the vice president has a very, very close tie with the vice president, with officials of the government. A mansion that value, maybe if you should come, not an engineer, but just an estimation, if you should combine the value of the two buildings, I mean, it's it might be more than $1 million United States dollars. More than that. But it's been demolished only because it was built in the wrong locale. In the wrong locale. So I'm saying this to say that in the future, when an opposition politician whom is, being marked for demolition in the same regard, it shouldn't be, blown out of proportion. It shouldn't be politicized. Because for development to happen, we must take some austere measures, very austere measures for development to happen. Right now, we are all, going through the consequences of development. Currently, the flyover, the overhead bridge that is being constructed along the ministerial complex area, along the boulevard area, is causing huge, long-lasting traffic congestion along, the boulevard route. Citizens go head into town, and from town, they sit in the traffic for several hours and some minutes. So that's the consequence of development. So when it comes, we've got to accept it, and we've got to live with it, and we need to do away with politicizing everything. So I'm saying this to say that tomorrow it might be the home of an opposition politician, and it's going to be twisted the other way around. And I'm trying to, actually, okay, so we post the video on Spoon TV right after here for those of you watching. Right after here, the video of the demolition of Yeke Sekui's home will be posted on Spoon TV. So you can just go there to watch it for yourself. So it was important to say this. And I think that's a good one from him. And also that's a good one from the vice president. So it shouldn't be because, you're the vice president of the country, your son whom built a home along the highway, and, the government wants to undertake a certain development initiative, and because your son home is there, and so maybe you want to bypass your son home, or you want to stop the process of the development because of your son home. So I think that's a good one from him for allowing that to happen. For allowing that to happen, because we know in this country, on other regimes, that wouldn't happen. That might not have happened on other regimes. And I'm not calling out any regime yet, but that might not have happened on other regimes, whether it's previous regimes, whether it's regimes to come in the future. It might not have happened. So that is it. So all of those affected by the demolition, it's painful. It is very, very painful. But remember that that must not define you. That must not define your future. There are still a lot more to achieve ahead. But for the sake of development, we must let that happen. So thank you very much, folks. We go to the lines and take a few calls. Call us on 0777-771-075, 0777-771-075, 055-101075. Call and have your say. This is the Today Show here on Spoon 107.5. My name is Yekezi Zwobel. You also listened to, David Chi earlier on of the Youth Alliance for Responsible Governance. You listened to the interview with him. You want to call as well to, make an input about that discussion. So 07777 1075 so let me see if our orange line is even on. Yeah. So call us on 07777 1075 0555 101075. Those are the numbers to put it through this morning on the Today Show right here on Spoon 107.5. And we also have to quickly ramble through our local dailies as promised, and we've got very limited time to go, and it's very important to run through our local dailies. Let's begin here with the Front Page Africa newspaper just before we take leave of you. So there are several interesting stories on the Front Page Africa newspaper that you can browse or grab a copy of the paper to read through. This one says strategic benefits, and on this I see the photograph of the president, His Excellency Joseph Yuma Boakai, and of course the vice president alongside him. And I see the photograph of the capital, and yeah. So it says President Boakai seeks legislative ratification of ArcelorMittal Third Amendment. Cites strategic benefits. Let's see if we can squeeze in some of those who are calling us here this morning on the show. Good morning, your name and where you join us from.
Yeah, how you doing, sir?
I'm good. How are you?
This is Cyrus G. Jala calling from the app.
Yes, Cyrus, please go ahead.
Yeah, I want to be a point. You know, in Liberia, what the issue is explaining. 2019, we noticed our development when you have the idea that will come out and the person the idea will govern our forces, and you have a youth to follow. But now, you know, they have inner motives. They all have an inner motive. Whether God, either they are in or something, maybe they want to be, maybe they to tomorrow, they have to come out, they put it into the jail and start to tell them things so that they will get in the street, do all that thing. Where? You know, nobody out there say what be bad. But no God has been behind out there, it makes it bad. I don't know.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Let's squeeze in this person. We have to run through our local dailies as well. Hello, your name and where you join us from? Hello? Okay. Yeah, so let's continue with our local dailies. This one here says, Nemot report flags slow start to Boakai's arrest agenda. Fans just 0.8% completed in Helen, in first year. So I go over that. It says Nemot report flags slow start to Boakai's arrest agenda. Fans just 0.8% completed in first year. And I see the photograph of the president, Joseph Yuma Boakai, so you can grab a copy of the Front Page Africa newspaper to read the details of that development. Let's go through this one. It says Speaker Deputy taken to task over poor conduct of legislative flow. Yep, and I go over this again. It says Deputy Speaker taken to task over poor conduct of legislative flow, infringement on members' voting rights. Okay, and I see the photograph of Bon County Representative Muhammad Briggs Menza and the Speaker and the Deputy Speaker. And I think this is exactly what they're talking about. Let me just quickly play for you the video footage and the excerpt for those of you listening.
As mentioned, you can control the floor and get a vote. You can do such a thing with yeah and nay. Again, let me be on the record for that. Not because you just you can control the floor and do that. But you can do this and embarrassing us. How can you have everyone portion and you got all of them portion and it's not dependent you say yeah. That's why you just need to do the right thing. I will not go nowhere because I'm not talking the wrong thing. That will drag me all here today. I will not get into trying to me, I'll kick you. No, I will talk the thing that is right. That is why when you go, the right thing must be done. The right thing, no, you can't remember. We will come for the thing, the wrong thing will not be done. We will not tolerate it. I want to let you go and then we can. I don't go to international parliament to come and say the CIB. There's no one who will come and open the mouth for me. What punish me? Stay a committee there. You say plenty for me. I will not die. Take care, you fella. You gotta leave one in place. You can tell all your committee. I will stay late. I'm foolish there you do it. I will pass for there. Let me be on the local government. Next time I will.
Yeah. So that's the excerpt of that development of the Front Page Africa there for you. Very, very, very interesting. Grab a copy of the Front Page Africa to the Front Page Africa newspaper or browse through via website to get the details of that development. We have limited time, so let's just go to the Liberian Investigator here and the Liberian Observer before leaving you. This one says Liberian content creators use children in adult-themed skits. Liberian content creators use children in adult-themed skits. All right. Read the details of that development. This one here too says Bouaka urges legislature to fast-track amended ArcelorMittal MDA, citing jobs growth. And another development here says Moba Malu charged over December 17 leave or lead protest. And that's another interesting development you want to get the details about. And finally, from the Liberian Investigator, it says NEC, that is the National Elections Commission, defies commercial court order over US 104K escrow deposit. Get the details of these developments by reading a copy of the Liberian Investigator or reading through their website. Okay, so folks, it's already 10 o'clock and we like to take leave of you at this juncture. Thanks to all of you, who've been listening. Those of you who called in and made their contributions towards the show. Many thanks for being there and making your input as well. On behalf of the entire team, my name is Yekezi Zobel. You can join us tomorrow morning at the same time at 8 o'clock for another edition of the Today Show. But it's going to be with another team of presenters. Lorena Honoré, the Supreme Lady, and Emmanuel David will be here to take you through the rest of the week. My name is Yekezi Zobel, bidding you a pleasant goodbye from Odious Congo Town in Monrovia, Liberia. Bye-bye.